Talk Nation salute. Before we get started, I would like to send my condolences to the Hagler family. Unfortunately, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was champion from 80 to 87. Unfortunately, when he took a L to Sugar Ray Leonard, Hall of Famer, he died at the age of 66 years of age. Peace and blessings to his family, his children. Most importantly, salute and honor to his legacy. But tonight it's going down, fight fans. Chocolatito, he's back at it. Estrada Chocolatito is going down. This is two. These guys fought I think about 8 years ago, something like that. Gonzalez pretty much almost dominated the fight. Estrada picked it up in the later rounds, but unfortunately he wound up getting the L. The fight went to Chocolatito. Once upon a time, Chocolatito was talked about as pound for pound, possibly the best fighter in the sport. Then what happened? He took a loss. And you know, in boxing, unfortunately, nowadays, when you take a loss, even if you have an undefeated record, when you take a loss, it's like it takes a severe impact to your legacy for some reason. You know what I mean? It's like you get knocked down from that plateau just as quickly as you rise, just with a single loss. Unfortunately, like that's kind of the bar that Floyd Mayweather set, you know what I'm saying, by doing the 50-0 thing, by making the money precedent, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like if a fighter loses, you know what I'm saying, his money ain't gonna be right, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta crawl your way back up to the top, and it shouldn't be like that in boxing. If you lose to a great fighter, you lose to a great fighter. That's it. If you lose to somebody who is nowhere near your level as far as competency and style and capability and ability, you know what I'm saying, then that's something different. But if you lose to a great fighter, hey, you lose to a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on, man. The tell of the tape, fight fans. Estrada is a former two-weight world champion. He held belts for the WBC, WBO, and WBA. His record is 41-3-0 with 28 knockouts. He's 30 years of age, so he's a bit younger than Chocolatito. His height is 5'4", reach 66 inches. He's from Mexico. His last two fights, which ended in a victory, was Carlos Cuadras, TKO, and Dwayne Beeman, TKO. Now, to tell of the tape for Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, he was the first Nicaraguan to win titles in 4 weight classes, fight fans. Also, he surpassed his mentor, the late Alexis Arguello, who I believe held 3 at the time of his passing. Chocolatito is 50-2-0, 41 knockouts. He's 33 years of age, 3 years the senior of Estrada. Height 5'3", reach 64 inches. He's from Managua, Nicaragua. Chocolatito, last 2 fights, Israel Gonzalez, unanimous decision, and Khalid Yafai, which ended in technical knockout. Now, these 2 flyweights, super explosive. They're pretty much going to pick up where they left off 8 years ago. I believe this fight is going to be a war. I think it's going to be tactical at first, but Chocolatito, with his pinpoint accuracy as far as his punching, that could be the deciding factor if these guys start to bang it out, if they start to mix it up. Now, that could be the fight that Estrada wants. Chocolatito, if he's smart, box him. You're a great boxer, very accurate puncher, very good punch selection. Box him. Bang it up when you can to. Bang it up when you need to, but get out of there. Try to keep the fight in the middle of the ring. Estrada, also a pretty good boxer, you know what I'm saying, but also a good banger. But I believe that if he makes this fight a little bit uncomfortable for Chocolatito, that's going to increase his chances of ultimate victory. But if this fight just happens to be, quote unquote, a boxing match, then it's going to be a very close fight. And the fight may end in a unanimous decision, possibly going to Chocolatito. Now, it possibly has the makings of being a part 3, but it all depends on how the action unfolds in this fight. Will it be a war? Will it be a boxing match? On paper, naturally, it's a fight, so it's a boxing match. But will it be a chess game, or is these guys going to go to war? You know what I'm saying? Now, I believe the key for Chocolatito, like I said, Chocolatito, very accurate puncher. Very accurate puncher. And he throws very good, accurate combinations. So I believe if he keeps his combinations short, 3-4 punches, utilizing his jab, utilizing his movement, I believe that he could basically outpoint Estrada. Estrada is going to have to utilize his jab, get on the inside, rough Chocolatito up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then evade, make sure you get around, use your mobility. But, and I do mean but, if this fight, as I said, goes the distance, there's a chance that Chocolatito is going to get the nod. Between the two, we all know how this goes, fight fans. As good as Estrada is, Chocolatito is coming into this fight. He's the A side. If you do not take it away from the A side, especially if the fight is close, it's going to wind up going to the A side. That's what happened 8 years ago when these guys fought. So if Estrada does not want a repeat of that fight taking place tonight on this fight, March 13th, he's going to have to make the fight ugly. He's going to have to beat him up. He's going to have to beat Chocolatito up. But at the same time, he's going to have to fight a smart fight and clean fight. You want to make sure that you're showing the judges that you can score effectively. But at the same time, you do want to knock Chocolatito off of his game plan and out of his comfort zone, which is boxing, which is being kind of the aggressor. So how Estrada enters this fight, I believe, is how Estrada is going to finish the fight. So it's going to be a very, very good fight, very close fight, very explosive fight going down in the flyweight division. A lot of people don't talk about the little guys, man, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, once upon a time, pound for pound, Chocolatito was held as the best fighter in the world until he lost. And when he lost, we all knows what happened. Fighters get swept under the rug. They're not talked about as much. They certainly are not held in that high regard anymore. And I don't necessarily agree with that. If you were a great fighter, you're still a great fighter. You just took a loss. It's boxing. Somebody is going to lose. It is not always going to end in a draw or, you know what I mean, or no contest. No, somebody is going to lose. Somebody might get knocked out. Doesn't matter if you've never been knocked out before. It's the first time for everything. Boxing is a game of first. If you've never been knocked out, guess what? Eventually, it'll happen, especially if you're fighting the best opposition. A lot of people who may have had quote-unquote undefeated records, not just Floyd, you know what I'm saying? Some may question, did they fight the best opposition? That is the question. Yes, mixed in there, you fought some good fights, you fought some tough opponents probably when you were younger in your prime, but as you started to get up there, this is with anybody, but did you take on tough fights from the beginning of your career throughout the duration of your career? Or somewhere along the lines it kind of segued and you start cherry picking, you know what I mean, making things a little bit easier to make sure that once you go into that fight, you got a security blanket, and that security blanket is that person ain't on your level. So they have to luck up and get caught with a lucky shot in order for them to win the fight. Now, if that doesn't happen, you already know you're guaranteed a victory, especially, like I said, your A side. Being the A side in boxing is extremely important, not only for dollars and cents, not only for marketing, but also for status. Because coming into that fight, if you're the A side and you may be having a tough go at it, you know what I'm saying? If you're the A side, hey, that might just be the deciding factor of the ref, who knows, giving you a little bit extra time to get up, you know what I mean? Taking a little bit longer to put that count, and if you happen to get knocked down. Prime example, look at what happened when Wilder faced Tyson Fury. When he knocked Tyson Fury down, you know what I mean, possibly out, and then he rose like the Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, even Deontay Wilder, you know Deontay Wilder, he questions that, saying if the ref would have started counting as soon as he went down, that would have been it. But it's Tyson Fury, man. You know what I mean? It's pound for pound, top 3 in the heavyweight division. Gave him the benefit of doubt, gave him the long count, wound up recovering. We all know what happened. Now, that's how it is. Now, I'm not saying that is going to happen in this fight. Possibly. I don't think this fight may have too many knockdowns, but I do think somebody may be getting knocked out in this fight. And where does it may say? I got a feeling that Estrada could possibly knock Chocolatito out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to just go with the underdog. You know what I mean? Because don't get it twisted. Estrada, like I said, is still very dangerous. Still a very good fighter. You know what I mean? But if Chocolatito comes into this fight on his A game, it should be a good fight. It should be a good fight. He could possibly get the knockout as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a close fight, fans. Also, the Benavidez Ellis fight is going down. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a great night of boxing. Some people may not watch the lighter the lighter weights. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, if you can watch the fight, watch the fight. You know what I mean? It should be a good fight. So tune in. It's going down in Dallas on the DAZN. You know what I'm saying? Tune in for Estrada, Gonzalez 2. Also tune in for Ellis and fight fans. You got the few. David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez, I think he's going to wind up stopping Ronald Ellis. Personally, I think he's going to wind up stopping Ronald Ellis. But you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, I most certainly give love and credit to the underdog. You can never count anybody out in boxing. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how good your record is, how bad your record is. If it is your night, if you had a great camp and you just fraction marginally or just a little bit better than the other guy, even if he is the A side, that could be the deciding factor of you getting the victory or the knockout. So you never can count the underdog out. I most certainly do not, because in life, I'm definitely the underdog. But what I wind up doing, I just keep winning. They want to see me lose, but I just keep winning. It's a beautiful thing to be an underdog, man. So fight fans, I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. See you next round. Do your best to stay blessed, stay motivated, stay humble. Tune in for the fight, Chocolatito Estrada 2. Also, David Benavidez versus Ronald Ellis going down tonight, March 13th. You don't need to mark your calendar. It's already fight night. It's fight night. Somebody go win night. It's your boy, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. See you next round. Talk Nation. Stand up. It's your boy. Peace.